How's it going today, YouTube? It's Camayah Films. We're back today with another tutorial. Today we're going to be breaking down the top 3 SimXSantana music video effects. These effects could be found in his music video, Flexin and Flashin. This tutorial will not require any plugins or extra downloads to pull it off. Everything you'll need to do this effect could be found within Final Cut Pro X. The link for the music video is in the description. If you're a return subscriber, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate your devotion to our channel. Any effects you want me to break down for future videos, please feel free to let me know. Any questions you may have on the steps performed in this video, please drop them below. And if you do like the content in this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to stay in tune for future tutorials. Let's get to these effects. Alright, now you guys seen the effects that we're going to be going over today. I'm not going to waste any more time, let's get right into it. The first effect that we're going to be breaking down, I like to call the negative flashing red effect. I'm going to be imitating this effect on a clip that I pulled out of SimXSantana's music video. I chose a group shot very similar to the one they used for the effect to give you guys the best example. Let's start by hitting the B button on the keyboard to bring up the blade tool. After deciding the location where you want to create the effect, start to cut the clip up in 1-frame segments. You want to have 8 segments here. After cutting out the segments, change the blade tool into the position tool using the P button on the keyboard. Now select the first segment. Go into the effects search panel. Search for color correction. Drag and drop color correction onto the first segment. Now we adjust the color correction in the effects settings panel. To get about the same exact color from the music video, we're going to drag the highlights to a bluish green and drag the shadows to a red. Now hit the back button, adjust the scale in the effects settings panel as well. I increased the scale to 118%. Now to get the flashing red effect, make sure you have the first segment selected. Press Command C on the keyboard to copy the segment and all the effects that we've created. We're going to be pasting these effects on the 3rd, 5th, and 7th segment. To do that, we click on the 3rd segment and press Alt Command V to paste the effects. We continue this for the 5th and 7th segment as well. That's actually a last step to pull this effect off. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, now moving on to the second part of this video, we're going to be covering the sliding clone effect. Well, at least that's what I like to call it. There's not really a name for the effect yet. This effect is a little bit more hands-on, but if you pay attention you should be able to get it down pat. Just like the last effect that we went over, I'm going to be using a clip from the music video to create this effect on. I chose a similar solo shot to give you guys the best reference. Let's start by finding the frame that you want the effect to end on. You want to drag the playhead over the frame. This is the frame that I chose. Now the frame that you put the playhead on top of, we're going to make a freeze frame. To do so, we go to Edit and we hit Add Freeze Frame. What you should be looking at now is the freeze frame with inside a storyline. Lift the freeze frame out of the storyline by right clicking and hit Lift from Storyline. Now delete the empty space the freeze frame was just in. This restores it back to how it was. Drag the freeze frame over till the end lines up with the cuts from the clip below. The freeze frame is longer than the solo shot we have underneath, so we're going to be cutting off the excess. This clip right here is actually their version of the effect. Sorry about that, let me move that out the way for us. For the next step, we're going to go into the effects search panel and search for draw mask. Add the draw mask onto the freeze frame. Once you added the draw mask to the freeze frame, you want to zoom the clip out to about 50%. After making sure the freeze frame is selected, you can start outlining the subject with control points. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to get it exactly on point, but do your best outlining the subject. I'm going to speed up the outlining process just for the sake of this video. To finish the outline, connect the last control point to the first one. Now you can see the subject that we outlined is floating on top of the bottom layer. Shorten the outline clip to how long you want the effect to be. Given a look back at their effect, you can see that it's moving into the subject. To perform this move, drag the playhead to the end of the outline clip and select it. Go to the Effect Settings panel and hit the keyframe on the position. Drag the playhead to the beginning of the outline clip. Click on the transform tool underneath the video playback. Now drag the outline clip to the position you want it to be at the beginning of the effect. For the final part of this effect, we're going to be adding a zoom transition. If you look closely, you can see the zoom transition in their version of the effect. Click Transitions and search for Zoom. Drag the zoom transition onto the outline clip. It's going to put 2 transitions. Delete the second one. You could adjust the transition to make the effect a little bit faster or a little bit slower. The adjustments I made were to make it faster. That's actually a last step to pull this effect off. Let's see what it looks like. Now for the final part of this tutorial, we're going to be breaking down the glitch transition that they created here. Just like the last 2 clips, I'm going to be using footage from the music video to do this effect on. I chose a clip with him on the bike, just like their version of the effect, to give you guys a similar perspective. I'm going to start by separating the bike scene from the group shot. In your project, these clips may already be separated, so this may not pertain to you. To get started on the glitch transition, let's duplicate the bike scene. To duplicate the clip, hold the Alt button on the keyboard and drag it above. We're going to shorten the duplicate scene to the last 4 frames. To make sure that it's exactly 4 frames, you could zoom in and adjust it. At the top of the timeline, you can see the frame indicators shown here. Make sure the duplicate is selected. We're going to be adjusting the scale. Bring the scale down to about 90%. Then bring the opacity down to around 60%. This is how they make it look like it's zooming while it's doing the glitching effect. Make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the duplicate clip. Now lock the keyframe for the position inside the Effect Settings panel. Using the arrow keys on your keyboard, you're going to go 1 frame to the right. Now back in the Effect Settings panel, adjust the X-axis under Position to -100%. This positions the duplicate to the left. Using the arrow keys on your keyboard, go 1 more frame to the right. Now adjust the position under Transform to around 100 pixels. This will position the duplicate clip to the right side. Now going 1 more frame to the right by pressing the arrow key on your keyboard, we're going to position this last frame more towards the middle. That's actually a last step to pull this effect off. Let's see what it looks like. In case you guys want to see the effects that we created today, compared to the ones from the music video, I put them together here for us. All the effects used in today's tutorial could be altered and tweaked and customized to be used in your own preference in your own projects. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I know it was a long video, but I hope you guys learned some tips and tools that you can use in your future projects. And as always, if you did like the tutorial, please leave a like and subscribe for future videos. Every interaction with this video helps with the YouTube algorithm, allowing this tutorial to reach a bigger audience for people wanting to learn effects. We check our notifications daily. Any questions you have, please leave in the comment section below. And that's the end of this video. I hope you guys like the top 3 SimXSantana music video effects.